Hi guys, welcome to my watch along to the Portuguese Grand Prix round 11 of the F1 season. Yeah, if it's this far back, I do apologise. Obviously, the clocks have gone back, and I forgot to do that when I put the time on, set the time to start this. So that's why it's an hour later. So I do apologise for that. That's me not thinking, right? Clearly. Um, but yeah, we're live. We're ready to do this stream. So yeah, love to know what your thoughts are towards this Grand Prix. Yeah, how do you think this Grand Prix is going to go? It seemed to be in qualifying between Mercedes and Red Bull, a very close encounter. Hamilton just getting pole position by the slimmest of margins. So yeah, this is going to be an intriguing Grand Prix. It could be a two-stop Grand Prix as well, given to the nature of the circuit and the speed and the lack of grip on the circuit. Luckily for Mercedes and Red Bull, they're both starting on the medium tyre, which is the more optimum tyre for this Grand Prix. So yeah, let me just quickly get the lineup for this. Portuguese. GP grid. Starting grid. So I will have a look at this one, and I'm going to try the F1 one as well. Just quickly bear with us for a sec as I try and get this up. I'd like to see if there's one with the actual. Nah, I'm gonna do it via. Right, it's gonna. Come on, bloody thing! It's always the way that your computer never works when it's supposed to. F1.com. Right. Live commentary, performance, star history. Yeah, let us know your thoughts to this Grand Prix, by the way, as I sort this out. It's always the way. It doesn't want to work. Come on. I can't get it in. So, yeah, I'm going to have to use this one. Sorry, guys. Comments. Maurice, how are you? Stephen, do you? No, I don't. I don't really follow boxing fighting. To be honest, mate. Yeah, I don't see the point in it. Why? Some people see the fun in it. I don't. So, yeah. Especially if you've got to pay like 20 or quid to just watch people beat each other up. It's not really what I want to watch. So yeah, here's the starting grid. So we've got Hamilton and Bottas first and second, and I got it wrong. Compared to the Red Bulls, they are starting on the medium tire, which could be the more optimum tire. Then we have Max Verstappen in third, Charles Leclerc, an unbelievable performance in his Ferrari again to get fourth. Sergio Perez fifth, Alex Albon in sixth. Carlos Sainz in seventh, Lando Norris eighth, Pierre Gasly ninth, Daniel Ricciardo 10th, Esteban Ocon in 11th, Lance Stroll 12th. What are you doing? Yeah. Daniel Kvyat in 13th, George Russell 14th, Vettel, a disappointing performance in 15th. Then it's the two Alphas of Raikkonen and Giovinazzi. Then the two Hasses of Grosjean and Magnussen. All right, very poor performance, especially given the fact they've been told that they'll not be driving for Haas next season. And then Nicholas Latifi brings up the back of the grid. So, yeah, that's the lineup. Let me know what you think. What's going to happen in this Grand Prix today? Will it be as action-packed as the Eiffel Grand Prix? The last few Grand Prix have been pretty good, to be honest. Given the fact it's new circuits, we ain't been there before. So, just quickly try and see if there's any people that are going to come on. So, quickly get this up. Oh, I'm so behind today. So, yeah, so, right, if you don't mind, I am going to be eating during this because I'm so far behind. And I don't have any lunch, and I want some lunch otherwise now. Otherwise, I'm going to be starving all the way to dinner, and I won't be able to eat my dinner later either. So I'm gonna have my lunch now. I hope you don't mind. Um, hmm. Be interesting because Red Bull seriously have caught up Mercedes in this Grand Prix, especially this Grand Prix. Like they could have easily got pole yesterday, and it took the perfect lap by Bottas and Hamilton to stay first and second. Um, I think in terms of Red Bull, Albon should start. He's going to start feeling the pressure soon. I feel because again he's sick. His teammates driving the thing, driving the wheels off the thing, and getting it, and nearly getting it on pole. Yeah, Albon is far down in sixth, even behind Leclerc. So the pressure's on Albon. He needs to perform. He needs to start performing. Especially got the likes of Yuki Tsunoda, for example, in F2, who's coming up for the ranks. Yes, all right, he's in F2. He's going to probably take a season being in the sport to be able to go forward from there. But not just saying, Pierre Gasly, though. Pierre Gasly, since he was dropped from Red Bull, he's then gone on the podium in Brazil. He already had a podium with the Toro Rosso team, or Alpha Tauri as we call them now. It's basically the same team, just with a different name. But he already had one a fourth place. He's got a podium. He got a podium in. He got a podium in. Oh, I'm still trying to think. In Brazil, right? Kvyat got a podium in Germany, and and now Pierre Gasly won not just any Grand Prix, he won the Italian Grand Prix, right? And just give me a sec because the sun's coming through here. This is the south side, so I've got the sun coming through, so the picture's quite bad. That should be better. Let me know if that isn't or not, and I'll see what I can do. So on the stream we got Realist.
Yo, bro, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've just ordered some food again.
Yeah, I say I'm okay to be honest, but I'm a little pissed off from the hospital to be honest.
Why? What's happened?
Well, last time I went for my infusion, which is every Thursday, they said your blood level's still low after having blood the week before, and they
Yeah,
only gave me that one bag. So I said, well, why don't you give me another one? So they said we didn't think it was necessary, but you're going to need another a pint of blood at some point because
yeah,
a level called a HB level measures your blood level in your system, and it was too low. Hence why I look so pale.
yeah,
So I said, okay, so that means we got to stay even longer then. It turns out I would have probably missed the stream on Thursday if I had the blood because it takes about 2 hours to pump through. But they said no. Because you're having your midline in today, was on last Thursday. Sorry. On that day I was having my midline put in as well as having the in your normal infusion. They said we'll do it next week. I said yeah, but the level says it's low this week and I need it this week. And they went no, it's all right. It can wait till next week. So I said well, if you can wait till next week, what's the point of bloody having it? And
yeah,
plus, if I've then got to wait a week, right? If I then feel like shit and having to miss streams because I'm so tired, drained, pale because there's no energy, because there's no blood to transfer around the body, right? Then I'll tell you what, the nurses aren't going to get an earful, the liver nurse specialists, because they get told by the doctors what to do, right? But I'll make it clear to them because they're like the link between you and the doctor, right?
yeah,
Especially when the doctors aren't there. Especially when the doctors, when they fuck it up, they're not there because they end up fucking hiding somewhere, right? And letting the nurses take the flak.
yeah.
Um, I said to him, if that's the case, and next week, I feel 10 times worse, you lot are fucking getting it. And today, I was literally had to spend another 2 hours in bed, though he had the extra hour today, because I'm knackered.
Yeah.
I mean, part of me now still wants to go to sleep.
It's a mess, isn't it?
It is annoying, right? Especially when they tell you, like, oh, especially when they've some 2 times already they've screwed it up, and they've after that second time they went, oh yeah, maybe Stephen will start actually listening to you and like do what it says, not just from what my prof, the person in charge, who's at another hospital, who's the number one liver surgeon in the world, right? If you look him up, Professor Nigel Heaton, he did George Best's transplants. And he's done all of mine. And I said to him, and he says to them, I've got to have this every week. And if the HB's low or whatever, you do top them up as well. Right? And but unfortunately with politics in the hospital, because they want to prove that they know better, they end up trying doing something different. And then when they fuck it up, you're the one who ends up like in the shit. Right? So it's frustrating because then I end up suffering and I keep telling them, why don't you just fucking listen to me? Because what comes out of my mouth, right, is what the prof says. That's the only thing I say is what Prof Eaton says. And he's in charge. So if you're questioning me, you're questioning him.
Yeah.
And you've got no right to question him because you're not even a liver specialist. Right?
Yeah.
It's yeah, they really do wind me up at times. They really do.
Have you seen Twitter today?
No, I had a chance, mate. Like I
Me
said,
and Jem are going at it again.
oh God, right. Oi, if you lot are on tonight, right? This is an Arsenal stream now.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
you know what?
I wish I just recorded it.
You know what me and Jem are gonna do probably? We're probably gonna go on a gal stream for like 10 minutes and then I'll be on your stream after. For like the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. What do you honestly? What do you think? Who do you think is going to win this Grand Prix today? Do you think it'd be as good in qualifying? So it was like literally Hamilton had to do the perfect lap to get pole, and that was it. And that's with Verstappen included as well. Only about 2/10 separating each other between first and third.
Hamilton will probably win, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's hard to call because the reason that's hard to call is these races like Portimao, these last races like the Nürburgring, Portimao. Though we've been at the Nürburgring before, it's not in this era of cars with these tyres. Last time we went there was 2013, which was 7 years ago. So things have moved on since then. But you've got some idea. But these races like Portimao and Portugal, Nürburgring, you can include Mugello, which used to be only used by Ferrari as a testing track. Yeah, these Grand Prix, you got Imola next week as well, which we haven't been to since 2006. And back then, we had different tyre companies, Michelin and Bridgestone, and they did refueling back then. Right? I mean, that was when Schumacher was in his Ferrari.
Yeah.
He was the last winner of what they called it was the San Marino Grand Prix. So it's hard to call. What I'm saying is it's hard to call because they haven't done like racing here. So it could be 1 to 2 stops.
Yeah.
Depends how long these tyres last. I think the advantage Mercedes have got compared to Red Bull had to get through to Q3 on the softest tyre possible, which means they'll have to stop early. Whereas Mercedes could stop about a fair distance in the Grand Prix and be able to go on even the harder tyre to have only one stop.
All right,
So
Stephen. I'm gonna. Yeah. That's actually a good point. I honestly think it's close, obviously, because F1 is quite close. But recently, it's just been Hamilton dominating everyone.
yeah, and it's one of those people like get upset about it, but it's just one of those people should get upset. The people you should get upset with is the competition because all Mercedes do is put a car out there, right? And he goes into the same details that Schumacher used to do back in the day. It's literally like a repeat of what Schumacher used to do with his team, and it's just the competition. No matter, I mean, look at Ferrari for instance, 2018. They had a faster car halfway through that season. They didn't take advantage of it. And I honestly think that little period, Ferrari were faster, but that was just that little period in there, 2018. I've never seen Hamilton drive any better.
Yeah.
Any better. So it's yeah, it's one of those you've got to blame the competition because right, that's down to them to be able to give them the opposition a car to. If you give Verstappen the opportunity in the Mercedes, right, I'm not going to sit and not say that he's not going to beat Hamilton. He probably could beat Hamilton over a set of 2 seasons. It could be split between the two.
Yeah.
Right. It's just that they haven't given him a car that's going to be fast enough.
Mm.
So you've got to look at the competition and say you've got to do better than this.
Stephen, I'll be back. I'll be back later.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm
thanks for coming on anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, mate.
All right. Cool. But yeah, it's like I said, you got to look at the competition and all that. Wayne, can Norris get on the podium? Norris, let me share that screen again. He starts. We look here. He starts in 8th position. If he works the strategy to his advantage and gets a good start, he could. I mean, it's between him, Albon. I mean, the Sainz could get there. Gasly in the AlphaTauri's been well. I'm surprised by the 2 Renaults that they're behind McLaren because they've been strong recently. So it's a real tight call for 3rd spot. Well, no, it will actually be difficult for them to get on the podium. I'm just thinking because you've got Verstappen there. So yeah, I would. It'd be tough to call, but yeah, I seriously doubt it. But Wayne, why don't you come on the channel, mate? Wayne, come on, right? Oh, then there could be spots of rain here. So there's little spots of rain that's around parts of the circuit, which in a track that's been resurfaced, it's not grippy, could pose a real challenge for the drivers, as well as trying to keep the tyres in temperature. Or that could play a significant. Even Gasly now reporting some drops of rain. Like I said, don't mind me eating at the minute because I am actually starving. Elizabeth King, how are you? Nice to see you new around here. Look like you're a Chelsea fan. What was that yesterday? That was like I'd have more fun like going for surgery. Honestly, that was so boring. But yeah, I will be doing that stream later. Just keep your eyes out for that. Yeah, I will be doing the Arsenal Leicester stream, and I will be trying to do it without paying £15 for it. Right, hopefully. But we'll wait and see. But yeah, like I said, anyone wants to join, the link is in the chat. Right, we're now coming around the formation lap. And I think they're coming towards the end of that lap now. Yep, they are coming up to the starting grid now. Right, I'm going to keep it down. Now, also in the championship, in terms of constructors, drivers is not secure yet, obviously, but in constructors, if Mercedes score 1-2 and Red Bull practically get DNFs, basically don't get in the points. I'm not sure if 10th or 9th they can still get it, but if they don't finish in the points, then or get DNFs in, then basically don't get a point or anything, then Mercedes will be crowned champions for the 7th season in a row, a definite new record. Right, it been equal constructors championship record, consecutive record was 6 by Ferrari. So yeah, this would be record breaking if they do it this weekend. So here we go. They're all lined up on the grid.
Aye.
All right, it's lights out. Here we go. Hamilton cuts off Bottas. Right, Verstappen's got ahead of Bottas. Verstappen split the Mercedes, but Bottas is coming back down into turn 2. Forces Verstappen off the road. And now Perez gets through and he's hit. He's hit Perez. Verstappen's taken Perez out of the race. I'll have to watch that back to see if there's a fault there. But loads of drivers locking up into the hairpin. Verstappen's gone way wide. It's raining down there. It's rain. But Bottas is now taking the lead over Hamilton. And Hamilton's now dropped down to 3rd. They're struggling in the wet weather conditions. Hamilton's struggling to keep the tyres in temperature, trying to get the tyres back up in temperature. But with this spots of rain, it's really struggling at the minute. All right. And Hamilton really holding the rest of the pack up here. But Verstappen trying to challenge Carlos Sainz. Send him high. But it's now to Alpha's challenging Leclerc. Raikkonen's ahead. Where does Raikkonen come from? And Sainz has taken the lead. Sainz has taken the lead over Bottas. Wow. Perez in the pits after that hit. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, well, it's literally the Sainz is now leading this Grand Prix. But it's because the Mercedes are struggling to tie those tyres up. Sainz has taken the lead of this Grand Prix. All right. Yeah, if you've got box office, you have to pay £15 for it. It's one of those £15 games. Don't diss McLaren, Samim, because the McLaren they used to be one of they're still a very good team. They've been they've fallen hard times, but they have been one of the well-known teams in Formula One. 1966, their first ever Grand Prix. Right, loads of success. Imagine McLaren 1-2. I mean, yeah, if it carries on, it is. But no, but for Mercedes are firing their tyres up now. But Hamilton now starting to come back at Bottas. Right, closing him down now. It's just, I think, the start of Grand Prix. The Mercedes, despite having the DRS system, because of the wet weather, was struggling to fire those medium tyres up. Poof. So, Carlos Sainz with the fastest lap. He's out of DRS range for the minute. Hamilton third. Bottas in just get the live. Poof. So, Verstappen in fifth, and he's hounding Norris, but Sainz still keeping ahead by a second. But Sainz is sort of holding the rest Verstappen up, whilst the two Mercedes chase after Sainz. And now Verstappen has got past Norris into fourth. So now Verstappen will try and get at the Mercedes. Lando fourth. When has I don't know. They must have it. Here we go. Here's a race start. We'll probably see it here. So far, the Mercedes has been brilliant. So just watching the Verstappen Perez incident here. Comes round the hairpin, gets squeezed by Bottas, then comes around the. It could be a first lap race incident as Valtteri Bottas takes the lead, and now Hamilton's hounding Sainz. Hamilton needs to get past Sainz as soon as possible if he wants to keep in the line of fire of Bottas, especially as since Verstappen has set the fastest lap as well. Right, Samin, that you can always come on. Right, the link is in the chat and in the video description. Right, so please, right, come on. Right, Kimi is a Ferrari legend. Well, yeah, winning a championship with Ferrari, you're going to be. Why are the Ferraris on the flipping media? It does. Yeah, well, Ferrari, they could be on any side, to be honest. They still won't perform. But yeah, here's the link, please. Bottas reared. So far this weekend, Verstappen has hit both. And here we go. Hamilton should just breeze past Carlos Sainz and does so and gets up into second place. So now Hamilton will chase after Valtteri Bottas. So yeah, like I said, anyone who wants to come on, please, right? Because this looks like a serious, no investigation necessary involving Verstappen and Perez. Verstappen will get past Sainz in the next lap once they get back down that straight. Leclerc's dropped to 7th. Well, he's challenging Raikkonen. How? I want to see Raikkonen start because that's an unbelievable start. They were out in Q1 and now he's 6th. Yeah, and Leclerc has also passed Raikkonen into 6th. So we're now back into the 2 Mercedes and Verstappen with the 2 McLarens 4th and 5th. Right? But the difference is that Bottas is leading, not Lewis Hamilton. I will do actually is I'll position it like this. Right. New fastest lap by Bottas. Gap being 1.8 seconds between the 2 Mercedes. I still think 20 in quali. No, he wasn't 20th in quali. Latifi was. He was 16th. Because the Alphas just missed out. It was the 2 Alphas, then it was the 2 Hasses, then it was Latifi. So it was 16th he started. So that's unbelievable. 10 places on the start. As Charles Leclerc gets past Lando Norris for 5th. So Leclerc on the charge in that Ferrari. Leclerc is driving the wheels of a dead Ferrari. That Ferrari is dead. It's more life than a Ford Fiesta. It's got less life than a Ford Fiesta. I'm honest to God. It is shit. And the fact that Leclerc is managing to get it up to 5th is unbelievable, right? 10 places above his teammate, the 4-time world champion, Sebastian Vettel, right? And people want to come at me saying, like, Vettel's better. Get out of it. Vettel's better than Hamilton. Right, okay. Right, because I'll give you an example, right? When Vettel had a shit car in 2014 and a shit car in and this year, right, hasn't won a race at all, right? Even when they had a car that was half decent, like in Austria, Bahrain, Singapore, and Monza, he won 1 Grand Prix. Hamilton in 2009 literally had a car which halfway through the Turkish Grand Prix said, "We need a new car. If we need to win these races, we need a new car." It was shit, and the fact he got right and he was going out in Q1, the fact he won 2 Grand Prix out of that season is a fucking remarkable. But yeah, you're right. I do believe it's a 3-second gap between him and Lewis. The front left I was going off of for Verstappen and a black. Stroll's been doing too much exceeding track limits because he's just been shown the black and white flag, which will not help Albon's case as he's stuck behind him in 11th. So another poor start by Albon. And again, it's all it's going to do is cause more pressure. Right. and it's like a steam cooker, like Formula One, right? And the more you fail, the more that steam cooker builds, right, and becomes out of control. So let me just see. Right. Bottas, this is still 2 second gap, 1.82 seconds. So they've just cancelled each other out in terms of lap times here. Now they've finally settled into a rhythm. The sort of rain that was at the start has sort of backed off a bit, which annoys me a little bit. Why couldn't it just stay dry? I mean, Hamilton had a great start. Could the record still be broken this weekend? Yeah, of course. But we'll have to wait and see. So, as Vettel moves up into 13th, overtaking Giovinazzi, Raikkonen is in the pits. Raikkonen has boxed from 6th position. So, there's a 5 second gap between Hamilton and Verstappen. Gasly's doing well on his soft tyres in 7th, closing down Norris. Gasly, right, especially even before the race win in Monza, right, this season he has been on fire. He's been like a new driver, right, and it's really been since he got that podium in Brazil, and he's proved doubters wrong, right. He has really come alive and starting to become a major driver, which makes it again more pressure on the Albon to perform, because then people were saying, well, why can't you put Gasly back in? Because he's doing bits. Makes it interesting, especially. Actually, here's a question for you guys, and honest answer. Now that we know the Alpha's contracts aren't secure, so both of those seats will be available, but we know the ones we can't. I'm not going to count them because we don't know yet. But the ones that definitely are available are the two Haas ones. We all know that, right? As an EF1, as a Ferrari Academy, because Ferrari usually put their academy drivers in the teams like Haas and Alpha because they're close partnership with the teams. It's like Red Bull and AlphaTauri. Who would you put in those two spots out of all the selections possible? So you've got Perez, you've got Schwartzman, you've got Mick Schumacher, Sonoda, not Sonoda because he's with Red Bull actually. So Ilott, who would you put in those two seats? That is a question I would like to answer. Me, I would try and find someone experienced rather than two F2 academy drivers. I'd have someone with at least a year or two's F1 experience and a minimum. But also, to say that I would put Perez in there, for example, I would. Right, I would definitely consider it as an option, and then put Mick Schumacher in there. Right, because I strongly feel those positions have been given up by Haas. That Haas have given up Grosjean Magnussen because Ferrari want to have got so many academy drivers doing bits in F2 that and performing well that need to be put and promoted to F1. So they need to make the space. That's why I believe that's happened. Again, this circuit is really good. It's a really good technical circuit. This is. I don't Codemasters. If anyone plays the game as well, I don't Codemasters take all these new races, right? Sorry, that are on the calendar, that weren't on the calendar originally, and put them in the game because that would be awesome. So Ricardo's boxed. Russell was doing well now. He's up to 12th position, which, yeah, is really good. But then he did qualify, I think, 14th. So, yeah, and Vettel was behind him and he did get ahead of him. So, yeah, he's not doing too bad, I'd say. And I always keep an eye on Russell because he lives Milton Keynes in Suffolk. And for people that don't know where that is in Suffolk, it's like if anyone who looks at the UK map, on the right side, there's like a little like circle curve, right? That's where the counties of Suffolk, Norfolk, and that are. And Milton Keynes is also right next to Norfolk on that bit. So he comes from and that area is called East Anglia, and that's where he comes from. So always keep an eye on him as a local because he's a local driver. But again, Verstappen being dropped, and this is the thing: Red Bull are not on the optimum strategy. They're trying to make these tires last, and unfortunately, because they're trying to make them last, it means that they haven't got the pace to keep up with Mercedes. Which basically the question: if they're that close to them in qualifying, in the end, why the hell did Verstappen not try going on the mediums and qualify on the mediums in Q2 and have the optimum strategy? As Hamilton now sets the fastest lap and closes it down to 1.5 seconds. So we've got a battle here. Sainz on Gasly. Gasly trying on the outside but can't. Positions car. The Sainz position the car well as they go into turn 3. Then turn 4. They really run the cars really low, don't they? Jesus. Right. Gasly really hassling Sainz now for 5th. So that early pace and early start by McLaren has dropped off a bit. I think that's probably just because they had such an advantage. They must have been able to heat their tyres up so much better than the drivers in front of them at the start of this Grand Prix. That's the only reason I can think. Because otherwise, why would they drop off this much? Hamilton closing the gap even more now. But the race has settled down a bit as they work on this first stint and try and extend it as long as they can. Mercedes definitely on the optimum strategy, so the strategy that could get them On, oh, no, what around the outside? Contact with Norris. Not into the gravel trap. Stroll will carry on, but oh, contact there. What's happened with Norris? Squeeze around the outside of turn one. Right, really tight gap. Got round the outside. Thought there'd be enough space, but yeah, it's a severe damage to the front wing of the Stroll. What's happened with Norris? That's what I want to know. He's got to be careful because if that flies off and goes underneath that tyre, it could easily puncture it and let alone fly into someone else. Right, see the replay. He squeezes around the outside on the curb, tries to go around the outside, and I don't think that's a penalty. Oh, I think he squeezed him a bit. He squeezed Norris a bit because the curb was still. And Hamilton right on the back of Bottas now. Is there a problem with Bottas? Bottas is struggling to keep in front of Hamilton here. First, second, and third. George Collins, hi, how are you? It's been a while. Yeah, Hamilton's first. No, Bottas is first, Hamilton second, and Verstappen third. But I've got a feeling Hamilton's going to take the lead the way this is going. Right, Bottas for some reason has severely dropped off in pace. So the under investigation between Lando Norris and Stroll. Marcus is back on. How are you? Come on. Go on. Come on, Hamilton. Come on.
You're just a bit ahead of me, so I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna watch it. I'm just gonna say
Nah, come on, man.
Bottas was in the lead there.
Nah, come on. Honestly. Right, this race has been really good so far. Right, honestly.
What was Verstappen thinking though?
Verstappen?
Those first few corners, he was going wide all the time.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably because of the weather, because it was spots of rain that started the Grand Prix. Hence why I think McLaren just did better in heating their tyres up, because it was whoever did well in heating their tyres up that gained the massive advantage because of the weather. That's why Mercedes was struggling on the mediums, because they were on a harder tyre. So yeah, it's just sort of a free for all. And plus it's lap one, right? So they make allowances for that sort of thing.
Yeah, but Verstappen should have done so much better because he was on the softer compound. He could have been leading this race by now. He was on the softer compound, and he was in second or third. No, he was round second or third. I mean, he could have done so much more.
Yeah, well, for me, it's like I said, he clearly it was all down to who did best in the formation lap because of the weather about halfway through the circuit. That's why Mercedes started off strong and didn't seem much of a problem. And then when it got to halfway around the lap where the rain was, they immediately struggled, and it turned out that McLaren had been the greater at heating their tyres up. Because there were some drivers even on the softs that were struggling compared to some other drivers. That's probably why Raikkonen did so well at the start, because he managed to do well in heating and getting temperature in the tyres, especially the drivers at the back, because they've had to wait on the grid a very short space of time.
Wow, Racing Point are doing badly.
And again, I think that's Verstappen's hit both racing points now, hasn't he? hit one in practice.
Probably.
Yeah, he hit Stroll in practice, and he's hit Perez in the Grand Prix.
In my opinion, the Ferrari looks really fast. Well, for what it was, at least.
Yeah, I mean they've been better. Are they better? Are they going to be able to compete with everyone that's competing for third? No, not really. But they've you can see they have made some improvements to the car, but nothing that's going to sort of shake up the field. To be honest,
Is Verstappen going to go for a one-stop?
I think they're trying to, and I think they've got the choice because what's his face is on the optimism strategy. Ads, how are you? Oh,
I'm
by the
good.
way, what lap you on? I'm on lap 22 of 66.
Yeah, I think I've just gone on to lap 22.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that what I don't get is if Verstappen was that close to Mercedes when they challenged for pole, literally about 2 tenths off, then why did they not try and get him on the medium tyre for Q3, for the race in Q2?
To be
Why?
honest, I think that if he pushed a bit more or did a bit better in those first laps on the soft combat tyre without having to get hold up, it would have been the right strategy.
Not really, because you can see that he's struggling to try and get to one stop strategy marker. He hasn't come up saying once the first like the one pit strategy window open. So I think at some point during this race, like Mercedes would have caught up with him because of the drop off in the tyre performance. I mean,
I
he's now
think it's raining again.
yeah, but I mean, and actually but the last thing he wants at the minute, I would think, is it to rain even more because if you've got some tyre life, it'd be better than drivers that are really struggling on the tyres already.
The Mercedes tyres look bad, but I don't think they're actually that bad.
No, you can tell the performance is still good. I mean, I actually think Bottas has tried to pull away too much, and he's taken too much life out of his tyres. Hence, why there's just been a mass because now Hamilton's disappearing into the distance.
He doesn't have the pace and the longevity of his tyres.
No, he hasn't been able to eke the performance out of them as well as Hamilton has. Hamilton's sort of played the long game. And speaking of which, Verstappen is in for medium set. Medium set. He hasn't gone for the. He will be doing a two stop. I've got a feeling it might be a
What if
two
he's doing a
stop.
one-stop on the mediums?
If he is, he's going to probably struggle towards the end of the Grand Prix because we've still got 42 laps to go.
I'm gonna have to eat lunch, so I'm gonna go have to eat my lunch.
Okay. But yeah, I think if. Hi, Carter. How are you? If you're interested, like the link is in the description. Right, come on if you want to. And Carter, was you one of them that won the book for Chig? Right, so I tried sending him his my address on Insta, but I don't know if he got it or not. So I'm gonna try and find the next member stream that I can come on and ask him if he got it or not. But yeah, the link is in the chat. It is here. If anyone wants to come on and have their say on the Grand Prix, by all means, come on. Right, I don't buy it. Right, unless you talk crap about Hamilton, then I'm gonna buy it. Nah. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was gonna go with, if anything. Yeah, look, it didn't give him enough room. Yeah, they've penalised Stroll. They've penalised Stroll with a 5-second penalty for the incident with Norris, and I think that's quite fair. If anyone's going to get punished, it should be him, because right as he's gone alongside him, as he turned in, right, you can still see the curb right near him as he's turning in. So clearly he's tried to turn in so much on the inside so early that he's given Norris no room to even like try and like to be able to get through on his side, which is the inside. So he's sort of just cut in front of him, and it's given Norris no room to manoeuvre. So there's showers in the distance, but we don't know if it's going to come or not. They're staying out for now, but Hamilton now 4 seconds clear of Bottas, so he can sort of breathe a little bit here. Here we go. Science is in. I think now, to be honest, most of them are pitted now. And if that's the case, then it does mean that these if most of them are pitted now, it does give now Mercedes the option to pit if they need to, right, and not have to worry too much about the weather changing. Remember when Force India? Yeah, I remember. Right, it was such a long time. The rest though, and that, yeah. Oh, what a weekend, mate! What a weekend, right? Guys, you don't know. We met each other at the British Grand Prix as a wish for 2012, and we were allowed. We were in the Jensen Button Trust Suite for a Friday, having a roast meal and stuff like that while we're watching practice. And it was a wet weather practice, and in the second session, they allowed us to come into they got passes for from Force India to go into the paddock. So yeah, we went in there and we saw how we met Hamilton, we met Damon Hill, met Paul de Resta. Yeah, we had such a good time. I hope you're well, George. Hope you're well. Yeah, I am. Thank you very much. I hope you're well there as well, mate. Yeah, it was really wet, wasn't it? Remember how they were telling everyone to stay away for qualifying in the race, for qualifying in the practice, just come on race day when it was dry. Right, and the funny thing was, it was supposed to be dry on the qualifying and wet in the race, but it was the other way around. Right, and I remember, what I remember as well is that it was so wet and cold for the qualifying, and they stopped halfway through, didn't they, for about an hour and so. Right, and what we said was we watched the rest of it at the hotel. Our family said we'll watch it at the hotel, right, at the Holiday Inn in Milton Keynes. right? And George and his mom and members of the charity, they decided they were going to stay and fund it out, right? And we were like, "You're mad, like you're fucking bonkers." I was just like, if we had like proper social media about it, I'll be sending pictures of the hotel with a hot meal and a drink, like chill. Yeah, yeah. I heard you be able to walk and drive now. If that's true, then brilliant, mate. Honestly, I hope you and your mum are doing really well. Fastest lap, Hamilton, a 1:20.5. Right, and George, right, Hamilton better than Verstappen and Vettel in it, and he should be put on the same pedestal as Michael Schumacher, especially if he wins the title this season. Right, he's like a carbon copy of Schumacher's career. Right, and I don't get why these people aren't giving him the credit he deserves. Right, because saying like, "Oh yeah, well he had the best car," well, so Schumacher did. So why do you give him the credit and not Hamilton? So, but yeah, man, that was such a week. I enjoyed that. Good to hear. Good to hear. Um, yeah. Hopefully I'll get. I'll message you or give you a call on Messenger at some point and I'll catch up. It's been fucking. It's been fucking ages. Ricardo going around the outs. Should be breezing past Pierre Gasly here to 8th place. Renault's have done well from their positions. I mean, one's 5th, one's 8th at the minute. Black and white flag for Grosjean for track limits. So yeah, and another penalty for Stroll. 5-second penalty for Stroll again for annoying track limits. That's 10 seconds now. Not going well for Stroll this weekend, especially now he's at the back of the grid, even behind the TV in 19th, who's in 19th. George, do you ever say you're interested in football? Right. If not, then for fair dues. If you are, I mean, later on I'm doing Arsenal beat Leicester because I'm an Arsenal fan, right? And I'm doing Arsenal beat Leicester as well as doing like loads of other stuff as well. Right? If you want, right, I'll send you a link on Messenger and you can come on the show if you want to, or like find it on YouTube. I mean, it's going to be on my Facebook Live anyway, so that or on YouTube. So yeah, let me know. I will put this though. This. Spell Bottas. There you go. Double check it. Don't want to get that wrong. There's a fight going on here with Norris, no, Sainz fighting with Raikkonen, and then switcheroo with Raikkonen, and he switches around, and Kimi Raikkonen hanging on to 10th spot. Just great battle, literally whole way around, halfway around the circuit. Right, and Norris, Sainz still hassling him. And there's a problem with I'll quickly put this on. There you go. So that's the current top three at the minute, and that will change when it changes. Right. As Hamilton goes past back markers here, back with Perez, who's trying to chase down the Renault of Ocon in 5th place. Again, another strong performance by Perez, which is a shame, really, since he's leaving. I hope he stays, because, do you know what? Ever since he was dropped by Ferrari, he's been at McLaren. He's been a really good driver ever since. Oh, hang on! This time the racing point goes around the outside of turn 1 and gives him space and trying to cut round Daniel Ricciardo, just hanging on to 5th. Ocon, sorry, but Perez is going to come back down into the hairpin, round the outside. Oh, he's just given enough room, Ocon. It's now a drag race down the straight. And he gets the inside line for the next corner and should. And Ocon eventually concedes the place and Perez up the 5th. Great battle there.
You know, I find interesting the fact that no one's been DNF'd yet. Everyone's still in.
Yeah, and well, you've got to admit the reliability these days. Well, it has to be perfect, doesn't it? So,
yeah, but there's no crashes or.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think there has been crashes, just not big enough. But
yeah, it's not big enough.
But I mean, reliability, for example, it's got to be literally on point now because of the restrictions in engine parts and stuff like that. Because they know if they lose like a power unit, it's going to cost them later on at some point in the season. So, and it's good. It's the fact that reliability is better, but because you get to see more cars fighting on track.
That
Which
Ferrari of Leclerc is doing very well. He just come in the pit.
Yeah, I mean, again, Leclerc, I think, is again outperforming that Ferrari. Right.
Yeah, I don't think the Ferrari's that bad. I think
it is that bad. It is that bad, honestly. Because if it's not that bad, then obviously Vettel's a crap driver.
Vettel is not great at the moment.
Yeah, but
I'd say Perez is faster than him right now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, they've made improvements. Don't get me wrong, right? They've added parts to the car, which has helped, right? But are you really going to say at the minute that they're going to mount a challenge for 3rd spot? No.
Yeah, I think they will.
No way. No way. Absolutely no way. They're no
Imola
way.
yet.
What?
We haven't had Imola yet, have we?
Yeah, What's that got
Have
to
we?
do with it?
We haven't had Imola, have we?
No, we haven't
We
yet. Why? No, we haven't. But why? What's the problem with?
Well, Ferrari might win the home race or comes to get a podium
Oh,
or something.
come on, mate. Just because it's a home race doesn't not mean they're going to win it. Right? No. Right? That would take a miracle. Right? That would have to be literally a bonkers race.
You know, a bit of like
A lot of
maybe
things go their
tampering
way.
with the Mercedes engine or something, making both of them retire.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the point. I mean, it's just half of them would have to fall off the road. I mean, even I mean, they shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah, might over a race pace. Leclerc's a better driver at the minute and doing well over a race distance, but then they shoot themselves in the foot because over a single lap, right? Unless it takes a monumental effort, right, by one driver, that car's struggling to get out of Q2, and even sometimes Q1. I mean, you saw Belgium, for God's sake. I mean, even Belgium, literally every car was faster than down a straight line.
I can't believe that the finale at Abu Dhabi is going to be on the 13th of December.
What's that? What's
So
that?
close to like end of the year, Christmas.
Well, yeah, that's just the times we're living in. I mean, most actually, the last race usually happens beginning right at the end of November, beginning of December. Right? I mean, back in the day, it used to end up like in the first week of November, right, because of all these extra races. And I expect it to be like that coming because, like, for some reason, Chase Kearney wants to turn it into like IndyCar, right, and have 25 Grand Prix, and everyone's like, this ain't IndyCar, mate. If you want IndyCar, go invest in IndyCar.
Indy cars are so slow compared to Formula One cars.
Well,
They're so much slower compared to Formula
oh
One
yeah,
cars.
but what I'm saying is that, and the thing is with Indy cars, they all go around
What's
one
the point
bloody.
of IndyCar?
Yeah, but well, that's it's an American sport. It's like saying what's the point in British Superbikes when you got MotoGP? Right? It's the
But
same thing. It's that Americans have that sport instead of um uh compared to another. We don't have IndyCar, but they do. There's certain sports we have that they don't have.
yeah, but they're just so much slower.
Yeah, but
I,
so what? If that's what they want, if it doesn't matter, it really doesn't.
they're not even faster in a straight line.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, even sometimes I watch them in the car.
They're less downforce and they're slower.
Yeah, I know, but in the end, if that brings in money and revenue as well as entertainment from the American fans, what's the problem with it? Right? It's perfectly legit. If it's not making any money or it's not like getting the fans that it deserves. I mean, there's a load of fans in this country that watch it, right? But if it doesn't, then you can quite easily say, well, what's the point of doing it? But if it's quite happily making money and I mean, don't forget as well, like Graham Hill is the last one to win the Triple Crown, which includes the F1 World Championship, the Indy 500, and some other bloody championship, that or Grand Prix that you have to win
Le
in
Mans.
Le Mans. Sorry, yeah, you have to win all three of
Le
them.
Mans.
And the thing is, like Le Mans, if you're going to say what's the point in IndyCar, so okay, because F1's faster than Le Mans cars, what's the point in Le Mans?
No, because Le
So
Mans, they're actually you could probably get like a LMP1 car that's faster than an F1 car at some tracks, and it's because F1 is open wheel and LMP1 cars aren't. That's what is different between them.
Yeah. But it's like I said before. I mean, I ain't got. There's no. I mean, sometimes I've sat and watched King car races and it's been entertaining. Like in the end, it's all to put on a show. If it doesn't put on a show, then there's no point to it. And in the end, Hamilton is pitting.
Please make a mistake in your pit stop.
No, perfect. It doesn't even have to. It doesn't even have to take a long time. Do you know what's funny? Like, is that I get people saying that when they're fans of someone and it's a really tight Grand Prix. Say like Massa in that Brazilian Grand Prix. I wanted something to go wrong in his pit stops or something like it happened earlier in that year. But in the end, I like the fact that it doesn't go wrong, so that if Hamilton does win, right, it's perfectly like it's been a fair battle. It's not like, oh, because this incident happened, that's what gave him the advantage. Like it's been like a fair fight, and like he's come out the winner.
No, I don't
'Cause
think he's better than Schumacher
well,
though. That's my problem.
what?
I don't think he's better than Schumacher
Yeah, and
though, and if he beats his
he actually
record.
does something, yeah, like I keep saying, when he does something significant in Formula One, then come back to me. Because I'm sorry, I that Red Bull over a lap yesterday, I that two tenths off, that clearly shows that Red Bull had the potential of being on pole. And it literally had to take Hamilton
No,
to
I said Schumacher, not Verstappen.
What?
I said Schumacher, not Verstappen.
Schumacher? Well,
I said I don't think Hamilton's better than Schumacher.
Well, I say he's on the same. I don't even say he's better. He's on the same level. And I'll tell you for why it's the same level. Because you look at his career and you look at Schumacher's career, and it's literally what they've done with like what Hamilton's done with Mercedes and what Schumacher did with Ferrari, right? Is like completely the same thing.
Here's a good
Where
question.
a team that was going nowhere to a dominant, successful team that actually now is actually going to beat the consecutive constructors' championship record of 6. So
Yeah, but Ferrari should have won in 1999 too. Oh no, Schumacher should have won in 1999.
Yeah, but they did win. They did win in 99.
No, I know Schumacher should have won, and he
Oh,
should be on
yeah.
8 constructors.
Well, what?
Schumacher should be on 8 constructors because he broke his leg,
8
and he should have won.
drivers. You mean 8 drivers?
Yeah. 8. Sorry.
But it's one of those things. I mean, Hamilton should have won it in 2007, but the car let him down in the last race. He had a reliability issue. If he didn't have that gearbox problem at the beginning of the Grand Prix, he would have won it by a mile, no matter what Kimi Raikkonen did.
But also, if you think about it,
that's if Mercedes, it's all part of the sport. That's what happens.
Well, reliability issues are about how hard you drive, isn't it? If you drive the car,
Not really, because it was at the start of the Grand Prix.
All those previous races.
2016 as well. After time, like the car was always having problems and power unit problems, to the point he had to sacrifice the Belgian Grand Prix to give himself a spare engine. And when he had that spare engine in Malaysia, he was the only driver that was Mercedes powered driver that had a brand new engine, and yet he was the only one that blew it up. Right? So I'm sorry. Right? How the hell does that work out? I don't know. But in the end, that's what happens in sport. So I can quite easily sit there and say he should have won it in 2016 as well. But it's all part of the sport. It happens. Right? Because I'm sorry, over that season, Rosberg was not faster than Hamilton at all.
Where do you think Rosberg would finish if he was put in the Mercedes right now?
Second. Unless he took him out, unless he hit Hamilton on the last lap.
Okay, let's say he was put in, like, let's say all the drivers are the same. Let's say all the cars are the same, sorry.
Yeah.
And you replaced Rosberg with...
So you put Rosberg, if I was to put, if everyone's in the same car, right? Hamilton, then Verstappen, then Leclerc, then Vettel, Nico Rosberg. No, I'm sorry. Half the time he had to get the team to do his work for him, right? I'm sorry. Like 2015 in China, he's bitching about Hamilton backing him into the Ferraris. He's saying, "Oh well, he's not going fast enough." Well, overtake him then. It's all part of the sport. Go and overtake him and win the Grand Prix. Even in the last race in Abu Dhabi, he's sitting there telling Hamilton to get on with it, and he's like, "Well, of course he's going to back you up into him. He's trying to win the championship." Overtaking and win the Grand Prix and win the championship. That's the whole point. Hamilton wouldn't sit on his ass and do that. He'd actually try and overtake him. His arguments were petty and stupid. Right? And now what's even why it winds me up even more, as soon as he retired, he starts like being like a Hamilton super fan and beating up all his arse. Beating right up his arse. Right? And it really winds me up. And I'm like, you used to
going for a
all the time.
Is Verstappen going for a two-stop?
What's that?
Is Verstappen going for a two-stop?
I don't know. I think they're trying to stick with a one, but it depends. By the look at what Mercedes have done on their tyres, it could do a one-stop. But again, it's two different cars.
But there's no point because you're not going to come. You're only going to come third. You're not going to come first or second. There's nothing. There's no point. This is always what happens to Red Bull. They don't have Albon up there to challenge.
I think even if you had Albon up there anyway, it wouldn't make much of a difference. Because, like, if he was struggling, because they were on the wrong strategy to start with. Like, because to try and stretch this stint so they could do a one-stop, they had to put up with being so much lower than a Mercedes on the optimum tyre.
There needs to be a safety car and possibly rain for Verstappen to win this, or come second.
Well, yeah, give him a chance. Hang on, I just got some. So I missed these chats. Yeah, I am Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea support. I was doing that stream last night. Why don't you jump on, mate? But I'm doing the Arsenal stream tonight, mate. So quarter to 7. So jump on if you want to come on. I know him from when we met.
When are Spurs playing?
What?
Do you know when Spurs are playing?
Don't know.
I must check. I need to
Not bothered. If I wanted a comedian,
tomorrow.
then I would be bothered.
Tomorrow, 8:00. Ugh.
Lovely.
And then we've got Europa League on Thursday.
Ugh.
And then on the Sunday we've got Brighton. Alright, that's alright. Good enough gap.
Not really. You shouldn't. If you're playing in Europe, you should not be playing on a Monday. But there you go.
Also, we've got a City game coming up. I got a few big games actually coming up. Got you in December, Chelsea at the end of November, City next week. Not next week. A month's time. That's all right.
Oh. Oh. Everton are playing a minute. One of the scores there.
I ain't check my fantasy football.
Nil.
I actually think I'm going to watch the Arsenal game because I want to see how Leicester do against you.
Mm-hmm. They'll struggle with the injuries.
Son needs to do really well this week.
Why that?
I've got triple captain on him and I don't want to waste it. Because Van Dijk got injured and I didn't change it in time.
Right.
So I pretty much wasted it. Well, we're playing Burnley, so we should absolutely batter them.
Yeah, like you did with West Ham.
We were battering them until
You decided, the game finished on the
80th minute.
Until you decided that you were going to. No. Actually, no, to be honest, they came out a completely different side in the second half. Right? You didn't. Instead of putting 4 or 5 and killing them off completely, you decided let's just take it easy. Right? And gradually they started building confidence back in the game. Because they realised you weren't going back on. Right?
It was taking off the players.
Yeah, but what was happening? What? I mean, hang on. You say that. I've got the fans tweeting, we bring on Lanzini, we bringing off Gareth Bale. I'm sorry, but what you do, you literally had your foot on West Ham's neck, and instead of pressing it on and winning it, you let it go. You started easing it off, and all that did was give them confidence.
Oh, you've got United next week.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to change the subject.
Yeah, but you not know that. I've been advertising about a preview the whole last 2 weeks.
Oh, well, I'm just trying to change the subject. Nonsense. Why do we always do better in Europe?
What?
Why do we always do better in Europe than in the league?
Really? You do better in Europe? I didn't know.
Oh, we do better in Europe. Oh, I mean, it's Champions League final the other year.
Oh, yeah, right. And so did we. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and say we do better in Europe. No, we don't.
We've done stuff like, what did we finish? Did we finish above Real Madrid? Anyway, we beat Real Madrid and then drew against them in the group or something like that. We've done well in our group. We've done well in knockouts. We do better in Europe.
In your standards, that is. I'm sorry. Right, you say that we're the first English club to beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Right, beat Real Madrid, Villarreal, and Juventus pretty much with Henry and a bunch of kids. Right, and if it weren't for Jens Lehmann, we would have given probably Barcelona the run for their money in that final. Like we're also
It's difficult being a Spurs fan.
and also we're the first team to beat AC Milan before they turned to shit at the San Siro. Like we also battered Inter Milan 5-1 in the San Siro, but I'm not like those are results. In the end, we ain't won anything in Europe, so it's not good enough.
We should have beat Liverpool, or at least drew against Liverpool. Well, got into extra time in that final, because without those first 2 minutes, and Origi scoring.
Really, I thought you did brilliant in that first 30 seconds.
I actually watched it with my cousin, who's a Liverpool fan. So,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I literally said to him, oh, well, you might as well watch it with me. Because I thought we might, give them a good game. We ended up just being bored. Because it was such a boring final. They scored in the first 2 minutes. The rest of the game just, come on, and they miss. Or play just breaks down, or...
Yeah.
I didn't even watch the final this year, or just like the Bayern Munich final, because I was like, if it's going to be as boring as the last one.
Well, it wasn't because neither Liverpool or Spurs were in it. But no, it's Bayern Munich. Right? What do you expect with Bayern?
Yeah, they beat us. They beat us as well. They beat us, and then they beat
Now that's the team that does
Barcelona.
Right?
They beat us, and then they beat Barcelona.
Right? Chelsea can say they can do well in Europe. They've won the Champions League. They've won Europa League. Same with Man United. Same with Liverpool. Unfortunately, as much as I can go on about results that we've won, we have not done well in Europe because we ain't won the trophy, the Champions League when we had the opportunity.
Just an update on the F1: Hamilton's still in first. Bottas is behind him. Max is behind him. Leclerc is in fourth. Then Ocon, then Perez, then Gasly, then Sainz, then Ricciardo. Raikkonen's just about in the top 10. Then Vettel, Albon's in 12th. Russell, Giovinazzi, Kvyat, Grosjean, Norris, Magnussen, Latifi, and Stroll.
Right. I'm not watching Tottenham's match. I've got better things to do. What's you gonna watch it on? I don't know. I'll find out. Glad to have you back. Lando's having a bad. Yeah. It's ever since that.
Well, he got contact.
Well, yeah. It's ever since the. If you let me finish, it was ever since the incident with Perez.
I thought it was Stroll.
Well, one of the four.
I thought it was Stroll because that's why he's in 20th. Because
yeah, one of the
tracing points
was retiring. Racing point for India. If you really want to go back that far, Jordan. If you really want to go that far.
Yeah, Jordan. Jordan are doing well today, aren't they? They're really not. Doing quite badly, actually. Although Perez, didn't he get hit by Verstappen in the beginning, and he's up in 6th?
Yeah.
He's doing really well, actually. As one of them comes in, actually. Stroll's come in retired.
Retiring.
Yeah. Oh, that's contact from Norris earlier.
No, they're trying to save the gearbox.
Well, yeah, actually, they're in 20th, aren't they? So that's probably... Yeah, that's probably right.
I think that
the contact.
The reason they were 20th is because he's backed off because he wants to save the gearbox. So he's backed off and gone back into the pits.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
But Raikkonen now falling back behind Vettel.
If Vettel did even a little bit better, it would have been
Oh,
so easy.
1-0 against the Saints or 1-0 up.
Oh, no. If Vettel did a tiny bit better, so easy for Ferrari to get into the top 3 of constructors. It's stupid.
Just repeat that again. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said that if Vettel did even a tiny bit better, it'd be so easy for Ferrari to get into the constructors' 3rd place. It's stupid.
No.
If he just picked up a few points.
No. Right, because they are literally just about hanging on with Renault, right, Racing Point, McLaren, who have since the start of the season been clearly faster than them. Right, not fighting these teams off. Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. My God. Right.
Next year, Ferrari in for a shout of something.
What?
Ferrari could do something. Not win.
No, they're not, because they said they're stuck like this until 2022. That's what they have come out and said. Yes, and they wouldn't say that without if they were lying. That's exactly what they've said. This car is like this until 2022. They're stuck like this until the new rules come in.
I don't think that's true. I think they've
Really?
got. I think they'll have they'll have a decent enough chassis.
Not the principal saying this, right? You've got the owner of Ferrari saying this himself. Now, the owner of Ferrari does not come out with statements like that. Right? I never find Enzo Ferrari come out with statements like that. Right? There is nowhere in God's hell Ferrari would say that unless it was damn true. Right? They wouldn't dare admit it. Right?
I think they have a shout of getting 3rd this year and definitely possibly 3rd or 2nd next year.
No. It's so we say that's the same as what? Arsenal winning the league.
I wasn't too far off Arsenal winning the league.
No, you're not. You're way off. Right? I'm closer to flying to Pluto than that one. Anyway, Hamilton were fastest lap in minutes, 16 seconds in front of Bottas. He was 10 seconds in front of Verstappen. Leclerc back in 4th, having his own sort of race and just holding his own with Perez. Who do you think is driver of the day? Kimi Raikkonen, F1 driver of the day. Not a bad shout. What?
Verstappen will win it. There's no point. Verstappen will win driver of the day because everyone always votes Verstappen.
Yeah, because it's the whole of the frigging Netherlands because they're deluded and never watched Formula One in their life. Right, and can't be bothered to admit the truth.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because they'll say, "Oh, he was down in 5th and now he's back in 3rd."
Yeah, just be careful how you pronounce that. Pronounce that.
Okay. Well, my accent was a bit off, but
Yeah, just say it, just not with the accent.
well, I know. I have relatives in Holland, so I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, but there are other probably Dutch people that might not be happy with it. if they are. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
Oh shit! Oh, Hamilton, you're fine. Get on with it. I'm running about cramp. Come on, he'll be fine. He's got 70 seconds gap anyway, so. Who it is? Back off. Get out the fucking way. Right.
oh my God, Spurs are above Manchester City.
Oh my God, it's 5 games in. If it was halfway through the season, I'd get your point. I don't look at the start of the season until 10 games in. I don't. It's just no point because it's up and down like a yo-yo. Until
I was
everyone's
joking.
I know. It's just I don't worry about the league table until eventually you've played a good amount of games and it's everyone's spread out a bit. I vote with Leclerc and Sainz second and third. Vettel is 10.
Decent race from him.
Daddy's Cash is having a bad race. Yeah.
Not BTW, BWT.
What? He meant by the
Someone
way.
said, by the way, Daddy's Cash. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
by the way,
BTW is a sponsor on.
Yeah, I know that.
BWT is a sponsor.
He's not saying that. He's saying, by the way, is Daddy's Cash is Lance Stroll. That's basically telling me what he meant by Daddy's Cash. He's
No,
not
I know.
saying
I know.
company.
No, I know. I wasn't being. Oh, never mind.
Well,
I was just making a joke.
the Tifosi would vote. Yeah, the Tifosi would vote Charles, obviously. They are Dutch, not the champ. But I went for Kimi because he's having a wonderful race. I mean, he's had a good race. Sainz has had a decent race. Top 4 aren't been lapped yet. Yeah, they just said the wind is picking up now. Very difficult, Russell. Yeah. But I think it'd be perfectly to cope with towards the end of this Grand Prix. To be honest, I think he's right. It should go for Kimi Raikkonen. To be honest.
Nah.
Yeah. He's the only one who's really made any progress in this Grand Prix. Right.
Who's?
Oh, it's 2-0 to the Saints.
Oh yeah, Everton are playing.
Adams. Well, more Pickford.
Is it? It's not come up on my thing yet.
Roll out.
They must have just scored.
Yeah, we know Stroll's been out of the race. Hamilton won another fastest lap with 5 laps to go. So saying the wind's picked up, it's not really affecting Hamilton. No, he's saying he's getting cramped. It's obviously helping him. Very light rain in the pit lane. It should be okay towards the end of this Grand Prix.
I don't care if it says it's rain. It's never going to rain on an F1 circuit ever again. We just accept this and move on.
No. I would offer it rains next weekend. You said that, but then last week it was raining. 2 weeks ago, sorry.
No, it didn't properly rain.
Right, so they didn't
That
do any
wasn't
practice.
proper rain.
Right, so they didn't do any practice. Because, like I said, the Grand Prix, which means like the whole weekend, is like they were
Okay,
struggling
well,
to go
on a Grand Prix
today.
Sunday. On a Grand Prix
17.
Sunday.
How the hell? Perez 17%. I wouldn't count someone who's had a shunt as driver of the day. Yeah. Blessed. I mean, are playing against the second worst keeper in the league. Yeah, probably too right. Wayne, come on, I might switch it over after this Grand Prix. But then might not. Depends what I'm doing. Can't believe this. You know what? Remember when I was a Schumacher fan as a kid? Even as a kid, I never thought those records would be ever broken. Ever. Like, and I was happy at the time because Schumacher was like one of my heroes. Oh, fucking hell. Really aggressive defence, Perez. Nearly took him out Gasly as he tried to dive down the inside. That was very late and aggressive. He could easily got to have a shunt there. And people were voting
Gasly's
for
such a good driver.
What?
Gasly's so good. He'll be like the next like Kimi Räikkönen. Like not the best, but up there.
Yeah, I think in terms of next generation, he's up there, but then you've got the ones like Leclerc and Verstappen who are just that little bit better.
I think he'll get a championship at some point.
Poor.
Give him the right car.
Well,
The
yeah,
best
I mean,
car.
well, the thing is that every driver's got. People go on about the fact, oh yeah, well he won the championship because he had the fastest car. Well, you've got to have the fastest car to win the championship. I'm sorry, right? You've got to have right a
One
car.
of the fastest.
What?
One of the fastest.
Well, yeah, I mean, like people going on about Hamilton, but his first championship, they didn't win the constructors' championship. They won the drivers only.
Verstappen could someone could probably win in this. If Hamilton was in the Red Bull, he'd be winning. He'd still be winning.
What, Hamilton?
Yeah, he'd still be winning if he was in the Red Bull.
Because I'm sorry, is that McLaren in that season were going up. They were literally one weekend they were faster, one weekend Ferrari were faster, and that's why it was so close. And in the end, it was mainly because McLaren didn't have a very good teammate for Hamilton in terms of Kovalainen. He wasn't very good at all. But the main factor
Made
is
the pass.
Ferrari were very good, but had overall probably the better car. But there were just certain.
Now Sainz is looking at Perez's rear wing.
Yes, Sainz could be getting Perez here. It's a bit far back, bit far back, bit far back, bit far. Oh, he's going, and he's clearly, still clearly
Ocon has
got.
fallen down.
Oh, Hamilton's now third in the driver of the day.
Wait, what?
Well, it was Kimi Räikkönen, and now it's Turn 1 incident between Gasly and Perez, that sharp movement will be investigated at the end of the Grand Prix. In the
Well, that
end,
might be a 7th place
well,
Ocon if it's a 3-second penalty.
yeah, maybe.
Perhaps.
We'll find that out later on.
Depends if Ocon can push a bit more.
But anyway, as we come to the last corner of the race, Hamilton breaks the win
Perez is
record.
today.
He has broken the win record. He is now the most successful driver in Formula One.
I don't even care. That's like saying Manchester City are a good team. They have lots of money.
I'm sorry. No, you sometimes got to sit there and go, well done. Well done. Right? Because you can say that, but then no one was saying that over frigging Schumacher when he did it. Right? You just got to stand there and like appreciate someone's achievements. Right? I, as a kid, when I saw that record, I've never thought that would be broken ever. It was that so far ahead of everyone else.
Thing is,
I never thought anyone would get near 7 titles. You just got to appreciate someone's work. Even if that was Verstappen, as much as I hate Verstappen, right? As much as I hate Verstappen, I
will be Verstappen.
Appreciated it. Just gone.
It will be Verstappen. It will be either Verstappen, Schumacher, Leclerc. One of them will beat his record, and I will put £1 million on that.
You can't put money. No. Stop being stupid. No, you can't. You can't do that. No.
Someone will beat his record.
Okay, if it's that fucking easy, you jump in the car and do it. You're making it sound like it's fucking easy. Anyone can do it, but it's not. Right? It really isn't. Fernando Alonso was just as good as a driver. He couldn't do it. Right? There've been loads of drivers since that have been just as good and just can't do it, and haven't been able to do it. Sometimes
was stuck in a Honda McLaren Honda, whatever that.
Right, he should have won it in 2010 with Ferrari. Right, he fucked it up himself.
Should have won it in 2012. You can say that, but
he was just, but that's what I'm saying. He is just as good as a driver, right? But he could be just as good as Hamilton. Hamilton would say Alonso would be just as good as him. But for some drivers,
Alonso is better, in my opinion, than Hamilton.
Some things it all has to click into place. With Schumacher, it all clicked into place. With Senna, it all clicked into place. Right? And the same with Hamilton, it's all clicked into place. And it's not just the team, it's the driver as well, working hard as much as possible to turn a car that was failing, right, into a winning, dominating group of people.
This season,
just stop and just give him some credit.
This season has, I think, made almost his record more impossible because he stopped other drivers from winning races.
Yeah, but how can you say that? You could be 30 years down the line when someone else comes along. You can't say that someone might not be able to do it in the future.
If Leclerc didn't have such a slow car, he'd have won races this year.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to sit here as an Hamilton fan, and a major Hamilton fan, and sit there and say no one's going to be able to beat that record. I'm going to say it's very fucking difficult to. I'm not going to say no one can beat that record because, it can. It can be done. Right.
Senna probably would have broken it if he didn't have a crash or.
What's that?
so many things that could happen. If Schumacher didn't break his leg, he might have won a few more races that year.
Oh, really don't
If
give any.
Schumacher didn't get an engine penalty at Monaco, he would have converted that pole perhaps to
Fucking maybes.
win.
Yeah, and Hamilton, the number of races where Hamilton should have won the Grand Prix, but didn't. In 2008, right, the FIA deliberately fucking conned him out the Belgian Grand Prix. Fucking deliberately. Right, how the fuck can you say halfway through, towards the end of that Grand Prix, when he retook Raikkonen, which is under the laws was supposed to be just, right, and he checked it with the team over radio, they said it was perfectly fine, and then as soon as he stops the car, they tell him it's not. There you go. But in the end, right, that's the record, that's been set. If someone breaks it, you just got to sit there and go, well done. Well done.
Well, I can't say well done to him.
Look, Samin is a Ferrari supporter, right? But he says, congrats, Hamilton, right? Lewis Hamilton, well-deserved record breaker. He's on another level, right? Congrats from a Vettel fan. Vettel will come over himself and say congratulations, as he did in 2018 when he won the title at Mexico, because they've got that respect, right, over someone's achievements. Perez got driver of the day, right? Everyone thought Vettel, and like when he won that fourth title, everyone thought Vettel was going to do it. Everyone thought Vettel was going to do it, and it didn't click.
Could have.
Yeah, but that's not with any driver. You put him in the right car, it could be done. But
So you're
in the
saying, do you
end,
even actually win a title if he was put in a Ferrari or a Mercedes? Or Latifi could do it.
what I'm saying is that you've got an equal chance. It's then up to you to see how good of a talent you are to be able to add that extra to beat the rest of the competition. Because you don't forget, it's just not just you and the rest of the competition. It's also you and your teammate. Right, the first person you got to beat is your teammate. Right, he had his first season. He finished second, 1 point off. Right, with his teammate being Fernando Alonso, who was the current world champion. Right, I was F1 since I was 5. Right, I'm a neutral fan. Bahrain.
Ferrari will win that one too.
It's not Bahrain. I think it's Imola.
It's Imola then Bahrain, yeah.
It's Imola.
The track
and then
limit.
let me just
The track
check
of
it.
Imola actually has Ferrari in its name.
Oh, yeah, same as like all the others. Ferrari, we've got nowhere near it. That car is not winnable. I'm sorry, it's not. End of story.
The best thing I could hope for is Schumacher being better than Schumacher. I want Mick to do so well.
Yeah, look, if say 20 years down the line, when Mick Schumacher comes along in his F1 career and he goes and beats Hamilton's record, right? I'll say, well done. Well done, well deserved. It takes more than just it takes.
I will never rate Hamilton. Never.
What?
I will never rate Hamilton.
Well, that shame on you, mate. Sorry. You don't have to rate. You just have to appreciate someone's achievements.
I'm never going to appreciate his achievements.
Well, that's just being childish. It really is.
I don't mind if it is because I still hate him.
Why? You tell me why you hate Hamilton. Give me a justifiable reason.
So I don't think he's that good.
Don't think he's that good. You don't think he's that good. So, but why is that a reason to hate him?
Well, of course, we've got Turkey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, like I said
I
before,
just dislike him.
But I don't see why. You just don't have a
I don't think he
justifiable.
cares about anything or there's anything good. Or...
Well, winning 92 Grand Prix means you care about something, right? Because there were a lot of drivers like Nigel Mansell who just set a
himself.
laptop.
He only cares about himself.
Are you mad? Really? Yeah, this is also the same guy who paid for his brother's career in touring cars, right? It's the same guy who set up the Equality Commission, right? This is the same guy who's
It's all for himself.
sure. What?
It's all to make himself look good, apart from the brother thing, because
Oh,
obviously.
You know what? I'm ending it right here. I'm ending it right here, right? Because that's just crap, right? That's absolute bollocks. Because that's like saying anyone that does good in the world is doing it to impress themselves. Bollocks. Not having it. No,
What?
no, 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 not having it. Not having this argument. That's complete bollocks. I'm not having it. Right? That's absolute rubbish. Right? And I feel sorry for you that you can't appreciate someone doing well in life. Right? Season ended in Abu Dhabi. It's godly too. And yeah, and this is the thing, he's not just focusing on black people as well, he's focusing on all forms of life, such as myself, who can't afford to buy a fucking go-kart to be able to get an opportunity to do what he wants to do. Right? And look, he has just said he's now gone, right? Because I'm sorry, right? You can't give any satisfaction or any credit, right, to someone's achievements, whether you hate their guts or not, right? That is sad. It is sad, right? You don't even have to wait in. You don't have to say you know, say it's all about the car or anything, right? Yeah, and the thing is as well, Chris, he also won it. Who won a constructors title? It weren't McLaren, it's fucking Ferrari, right? So what does that tell you? Right, 2009, their car was so appalling, it was unreal, and he still won 2 Grand Prix. Right, I'm sorry, right? I hate Verstappen, right? I hate him really, 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 really much. So I really do feel he's arrogant. He cares only about himself, right? And generally, that's how I feel towards him because he has, for example, Mexico. He didn't give a fuck about Bottas stuck in a wall or the marshals trying to attend his accident, right? When he kept his foot on the floor to get pole position in Mexico, especially when the fact that then when he went to the press conference, had a fucking joke about that made it sound like it was all a bit of fucking fun, or it was like it was all a fucking joke, right? It was something to be funny about. So I'm sorry, right? But as much as I hate him, if he did well like he did in that anniversary Grand Prix, I said, fair play, well done. You can go check it if you really want to. I said, well done, right? You actually beat Mercedes. You were better at that Grand Prix. Well done. So yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the only reason I'd say he like that Senna's better is because Senna had that some special about him. I But he didn't care much. He cared about drivers that got hurt and everything. But when he was in the car, he gave a fuck. He cared about one person himself, right? And he didn't care how he won. So, like the difference between Schumacher and Senna and Hamilton is that Schumacher won it fairly. He's never cheated. So yeah, I'm sorry, I can't stand people that can't give people any credit when it's due. I hate Man United, for example. But if they win the title, like, then you got to say well done, right? You deserved it. You were far better. But yeah, like I said, this is the end of the stream. I'm gonna have sort of break, chilled out a bit, especially after those comments. Um, Stroll giving a 5-second penalty with Lando. Yeah, yeah, he did. But thanks for tuning in. Like I said, these streams will always be done on the Grand Prix. I'll be back this evening with Arsenal v Leicester's watch along. So tune in for that. That'll be 6:45. But until then, Hamilton has set the new record in Formula One, the most successful Grand Prix driver of all time. Right, right, and that I don't give a fuck what anyone says. You can't give anyone credit when they've done an achievement that's so extraordinary, right, like that. Then you are seriously sad. Sad, right? It's very sad, right? So yeah. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'll be back at 6:45 with Arsenal v Leicester. Until then, take care, stay safe, and stay well.